Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video with Impact Wrestling. You join us today for our August pay-per-view, live on Dish Mexico, Fight TV, Impact Plus and Premier Sports. God, today we can actually get better deals. It'll be a good day. Looking forward to this one. We've got a few steel cage matches, modern ones, so you can win by pinfall submission or escaping the cage. A very good card. One thing I will say though is, I did say there's a long gap between the tapings and the pay-per-view. Card is subject to change. We have a few people missing, which is disappointing. We don't have Alex Shelley, he's working for Ring of Honor. So that Saban Shelley match, shelved, but we have a hell of a replacement. We have signed Bea Priestley, but she'll be working for New Japan tonight. Also working for Ring of Honor, our matchmaker, Kurt Angle, EC3 as well. Nevaeh is on maternity leave. And our X Division champion, Lio Rush, is no longer our X Division champion because wrestling for another company he has sustained a severe concussion and will be out of action for over a year. Brilliant, because he was getting a massive push. So vacated the championship, and that will be on the line in a 5-person steel cage match. The person who escapes becomes your new Impact X Division champion. So yeah, that's the things you have to deal with, and hopefully we deal with it well. I've been on a bit of a recruitment spree. I think we've roughly got 10 new signings in, all in the handshake open deals. 5 women, 5 men, all under the age of 30. As I just want to give us some more options to rotate, and we can start phasing the roster from what it is at the moment to what I want it to be, which is a youth movement, and hopefully one that can develop as the company develops as well. So without further ado, we've done that. We're going to be looking at attendance, roughly about 2,500. Let's do it. Let's start tonight's pay-per-view. So we surpassed what we were expecting. We've got 2,760 in attendance at the venue at the University of Central Florida. As always, if any show you've ever watched me doing for a pay-per-view, we have the main event guys saying some last words of what they're going to do. Ace Austin said he wants to be one of the youngest world champions in history, and he's going to do that by beating the fluky champion, Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona just basically says, usual, I'm always ready, and I'm ready for this little punk that thinks he's going to take my Impact World Championship. So put themselves over there. 64. Cardona though did struggle to improvise with some dialogue. We then had Don Callis. Now the camera's cut to him. It's just basically him explaining what you already know. He says, unfortunately Lio Rush is injured, so we're going to make a massive match-up to crown a new X Division champion. There's been a situation with Alex Shelley. We'll let Chris Saban go out and see what happens. But overall, get ready for a movement that's going to be starting in Impact Wrestling. We are going global. We are bringing as many young talents from around the world as we can, and you'll see them on future episodes of Impact on Access TV. But for tonight, enjoy the show. So we start off with the most professional wrestlers taking on the Good Brothers. Unfortunately, character limits means that I can't have a space between professional and wrestlers. But it was a good matchup as the most professional wrestlers defeat the Good Brothers in 11:34 when Chris Hero pinned Doc Gallows with a rolling elbow. Brian Myers a weak link here. Chris Hero off his game, but still a decent opener of 56. In some cases that would have been a main event for us, so it certainly shows the improvement. But yeah, the good tandem, as to says, Hero and Myers, and they're certainly working together to score a good victory over the Good Brothers. We had a special over-the-top entrance, an elaborate entrance for one of the men participating in the X Division 5-way cage match, and we have on loan from All Elite Wrestling for 6 appearances, is absolute Ricky Starks, and he'll be one of the men competing here. I got a 34, and the matchup itself was decent, and Ricky Starks defeats Suicide, Phoenix, Chris Bay and Bushi in a cage match in 14:27 when Ricky Starks escaped the cage, meaning that Ricky Starks is your new Impact X Division champion. 55, pretty good there. Suicide the weakest performance. We had Suicide off his game as well, so he would have been in the 40s alongside Bushi and Ricky Starks. But I felt like here, we got him on loan from AEW. They've took Chris Hero for a few appearances. But yeah, I just feel like give him a wee shot with the championship belt. And we'll try and extend that loan deal as long as we can. But shame to lose Leo Rush, but that's a pretty good base for a division, I would say. Moving along, we had a decent matchup that saw the North defeat the Decay in 9:27 when Ethan Page defeated Pavel Kirkin with a spinning facebuster. Kirkin the weak link here. A 47, simply because of the overness, I can't put the Decay over at the moment. I've obviously dispelled Decay wrong because there already would be a Decay in the database. So a win there for Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, but it hopefully gives some coverage and spotlight to Steve and Kirkin. We can hopefully keep improving their overness. But a good win here for the heels. The bad guys prevail. More action, and it was a decent matchup that saw Rosemary and Su Yung defeat Donna Purrazzo and Kimberly in a cage match in 14:30 when it was Su Yung who escaped the cage, giving them the first defence of their Impact Knockout Tag Team titles. So a 47 here. Weakest link there, Kimberly. Main player was Diona, but another win for the Demons, I guess, and Rosemary and Su Yung. More action here as we just flying through the lots of matches we've got here. And we had a decent matchup that saw Taya Valkyrie defeat Tennille Dashwood and Thunder Rosa in a cage match in 14:08 when Taya escaped the cage because we had the debuting Fia Trinidad come in and attack Thunder Rosa. So the tandem there of Taya and Fia make sure that Taya picks up the victory and becomes Knockouts champion in this save. A 51 to kneel off her game. Fia debuts an arrogant heel gimmick which got an initial rating of adequate. Delighted to get her on board, and I feel like her alongside Taya Valkyrie can do some interesting things. So, bit of a shame that the title reign of Thunder Rosa was cut short, but I do want to try and get a lot of people multiple title reigns, and I want a pretty in-depth division. So I will need likes of Thunder Rosa to probably go and help be like a player coach and help develop some of the younger talents that we'll have in the next few weeks. And more action within the cage. We had a good match up here that saw FTR defeat Enzo and Kaz in a cage match, 12:03, when Dax Harwood was the man that escaped the cage. So a lot of escapes, no real pinfalls. And FTR make the fourth defence of the Impact World Tag Team Championships. A 61 here. They're the best tag team about. It's got to stay that way. Back to the drawing board for Enzo. And Big Kaz. Big up Dax Harwood, by the way. 70 performance. Well done. And after the matchup, they celebrate. A 57 segment here. They're not the most over people in the world. They're not the most charismatic. They do their job in the ring. And that's why they are our Impact Tag Team Champions. Moving along with a good matchup that saw Eddie Edwards pick up a win over Moose in 13:33 with the forward lungbow. 57. Eddie's getting a little bit stale, but he is someone we're starting to push forward now. And another good victory for Eddie puts him a little bit closer to becoming a contender for the World Championship. We had a backstage promo from one of the athletes that will be joining Impact Wrestling going forward, and that is Richard Holiday. A 50 here. He just acts smug, very arrogant, another arrogant heel gimmick, but just basically says he looks forward to wrestling, doing what he needs to do to pick up the victory, and then earn a lot of money when the consumers pay the money to watch him wrestle. So a 50 there. I don't know a lot about him personally, someone I'm going to have to look up, but his attributes look good in Save, and the bio described him quite well, so we'll see how the Richard Holiday character does for me in comparison to real life. We had a matchup between Sami Callahan and Madman Filton, and it was about that had good heat and decent wrestling that saw Sami pick up the win over Madman Filton in 12:50 with an assault driver. 54, Filton off his game. We obviously have Madman Filton as like second foil to Ace Austin, so it makes sense that he obviously takes the losses and Sami Callahan picks up a win here, showcasing that defeat to Ken Shamrock many months ago is well in his past. Chris Saban then cuts a promo, just says, well, it's a shame that Alex Shelley completely decided at the last minute to surrender, doesn't want anything to do with Chris Saban. He always knew that Chris Saban was the better man anyway, so he'll just move on. You know, Alex Shelley, that match will happen down the line and Chris will give him a beat down whenever Shelley decides not to run scared. But he's just going to leave and take the night off. But that 42 rated segment gets cut off. Because coming down to the ring, Jeff Hardy says, you know what, I'm here, I'm back in Impact Wrestling and I want to fight. And Chris Saban, being told by Don Callis, you're going to have to fight me, or your ass is out of here. So obviously Saban freaks out, and we have a matchup set straight away of Jeff Hardy versus Chris Saban. Jeff does the usual charismatic enigma gimmick, which we get an initial rating of great. Just a bit disappointing, the segment only drew a 51. Our matchup though, superb, and Jeff picks up the win in 11:52 over Chris Saban with the Swanton Bomb. It's going to be good that I can actually have a save where Jeff gets a really solid push as a top guy, but a 62 rated matchup, his 68 performance against Chris Saban's 50. So, Shelley not performing opened up a gap for Jeff Hardy's debut. And we concluded the show, match-wise anyway, with about the head superb wrestling in great heat, and Ace Austin defeats Matt Cardona in a cage match in 21-31 by pinfall with an Aces high after Madman Filton managed to make it into the cage and interfere, meaning your new Impact World Champion, Ace Austin. A 64 rated matchup here. I just felt like pulling the trigger. He's been great for me. I've been speaking to Gary on Twitter, he's been great for him. I just feel like he's someone that just, his attributes are amazing. Out of time I've seen him in real life, I've enjoyed his work. So yeah, youth movement, and we're fully going to put all our eggs in the Ace Austin basket. So he picks up the win, and of course celebrates at the end of the show. Cheeky 67 rating, so that gives our best angle. So the show may actually do okay. I think we might be high 50s when you take our production cost losses. But yeah, youth movement begins with a brand new champion. There you go, 59. It's almost as if I know the formulae for this game now, but overall happy with that. Increase our popularity all over the world, and I still don't feel we're in a financial position just yet to increase those production costs. I think we'll be in debt within a couple of months, but if we can still basically gain pop without doing that, then I suppose that's a positive. So yeah, we've got lots to change. We have a new X Division champion, Ricky Starks. We've got a new women's champion with a new friend. We have debuts, Holiday coming. There's plenty more arriving. We've got Jeff Hardy now in Impact Wrestling, and the Age of Austin, not Steve but now Ace, has begun. In fact, what we'll do is when we go back to the main screen, we'll actually let you see a lot of the people that will be debuting, because none of them are massively over in this game, so they're not going to get like serious pushes off the bat. It'll just be victories to get them recognised on television. But I've got a few from the States, there's a few Japanese Joshies coming in, so there's real just adding a lot of depth to our division. And obviously all on handshake deals mean we could lose them, but at the same time they're people that will not cost us too much. So we'll have a look here, we'll see what we've got. Super Crazy's going to retire. Impact Lockdown was awesome. Ring of Honor had their show as well, but we had more fans, so go us. Seen anything else that directly affects us? No. So we had 97,000 viewers, which is a 0.03 buy rate. We need to get better buy rates. That's just not financially sustainable enough. Not diary, that's not the one I wanted. Company Wars. I'm thinking we're way up there, let's have it. I want the top 100, please, and thank you. So in terms of shows, Lockdown was our third best ever show. In terms of matches, Ace Austin and Matt Cardona was joint equal best, which is good to see. FTR with 3 other matches in there. Attendances, it was our biggest attendance by over 300 fans, and the buy rate was way down there as the 5th highest buy rate. You can see the other buy rates have been pretty awful. We just need to try and get some better deals down the line, but we have some deals that are up. If I just go to broadcasting, we're still 3 months with Dish Mexico, a year and 3 months with Fight TV. I'll see what I can get, but I don't think because of the size there's much we can attract. That deal's going to really hurt us. So we might need to kind of get in a position where we can financially afford to just can it. Speaking of finance, 1.1 million, which is good, but we are going to lose a lot of money here through tax, miscellaneous and other costs, because we still have a few days to go in the month. So I expect our profit margins to probably be about the same as July, so we may just make it to 1 million. Which sounds good, but realistically we've only made 300,000 since the save started in December in-game. So, we'll see. Sometimes you need to spend money to make money, so there's that thought process as well. But yeah, the last thing I want to end with is obviously those new signings. So we'll go through as many as you can see there. There's going to be Hirio, Matsumoto, Priscilla Kelly. We already know about Crazy Mary Dobson. Rachel Ellering is back. We've got Anthony Bowens, we've got Max Caster, so both of the acclaimed are here. We've got Jamie Hayter, we've got Very, Senza Volto, we've got Ultimo Vampiro, we've got B Priestley we know about. So yeah, quite a few, and there's a few that are joining when their WWE deals are up as well. There's one I'm going to try and get, but we'll have to wait a bit for them. We also saw Riddle was offered a deal by WWE. Riddle was then not offered a deal by WWE. We went to speak to him because he would have obviously signed for us, and he'd apparently in game had come out with some nasty comments, so yeah, we won't be negotiating with him because we need to get everything up in terms of size and money, and I don't know if it's worth the hassle. I might risk it at one point, but I'll maybe wait till release to a bigger size before we do so. So cheers for watching, much appreciated. We're now going to do 3 days and we'll get to our next batch of tapings. And then we're on the road to, against all odds, the last step in the road to Bound for Glory. So take it easy, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.